By popular request, right now, we are going to cover my top 5 reasons not to move to Boise, Idaho. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Shawn Tomich with the Living in Boise group, and by now, you have heard of Boise, Idaho. The cat's out of the bag. We have not been a secret for many years now. Everyone has discovered how awesome it is to live here, and that what you're actually paying for to live here is the quality of life that you receive when you move here. We have exceptionally low crime, and you won't find a tent anywhere but in the mountains. And because of this, you're gonna have to pay a premium to live here because it's a premium place. Now, all of that said, almost 100% of my clientele is just like you, from out of state. And based on experiences that they've had, the things that they've told me and shared with me after they've moved here, I've compiled what is my top 5 reasons why you might want to consider not moving to Boise, Idaho. To be even more honest with you, some of these reasons might actually make you want to live here. And so if that's the case, and after you watch this video, you're like, yes, Shawn, sign me up. I absolutely want to live in a small city with nothing to do, with low income, with all white people and snowy roads. Well, then all you gotta do is just call me, email me, text me, days, nights, weekends. Myself, my team, we've got your back when it comes to moving to Boise and the Treasure Valley. Okay, so my number 5 reason to not move here is low income. Boise's median income right now is still in the 60,000s. So that's typically 2 people working in a household making anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 per year per job. A general guideline is that your home should be around 2 to 2.5 times your yearly salary, meaning that the average household right now in Boise can afford a mortgage of around $120,000 to $150,000. So let's think about that. Our median home price right now in Boise is hovering just below $500,000, right at $500,000. So what do you think that you're going to be able to afford to buy in Boise for $125,000 to $150,000? Nothing. There's nothing on the market that you're going to be able to buy for that price. You're renting at that point. People are moving here all the time and turning right back around and exiting because they've moved here and then they find out what jobs are paying here. So you need to know that 100% and do your research before you end up moving here, because if you don't, you might be turning right back around and leaving. My number 4 is weather, or basically snow and heat. This is not an area that has great public transport. So unless you live right in downtown Boise and your job is right in downtown Boise, you need to understand and know right now that if you move here, you will be commuting, because that scenario of you living right where you work is extremely rare and very few and far between unless you're teleworking or working from home. In Idaho and in the Boise market, the Boise Treasure Valley, we are extremely fortunate and lucky, and we get all 4 seasons. One of those seasons is winter, and with winter, we do get snow. You need to understand and know right now that if you move here, you will be commuting in the snow. There will be times where if you need to leave your home, you may be driving in snowy or icy roads. And I have covered this on my channel time and time again, and I still have questions, and people that move here and still question this and don't believe it, but it's imperative that you do have the proper equipment when you move here, or get it as soon as you do move here. And what I mean by that is that, again, you're going to have to commute, so you need to have either a 4x4 vehicle or an all-wheel drive vehicle. You absolutely can get by with a very good front-wheel drive vehicle like a Honda Accord or Honda Civic with really good snow tires or studded snow tires. You absolutely can make it through winter here 100% with something like that. But I will tell you right now that your rear-wheel drive car, and especially your rear-wheel drive truck, which is actually, if you know anything about vehicles, it's actually a one-wheel drive, is absolutely useless in the snow and useless on snowy and icy roads here, and you will not be happy if you need to go somewhere. You would actually be surprised, but some of those vehicles that I mentioned, like the rear-wheel drive car, when we have a really good snow, you actually more than likely will not even make it out of your neighborhood, because more than likely your neighborhood does not have snow removal. The roads and public access roads do, but your neighborhood more than likely does not. And there's been many times that even with good all-wheel drive vehicles, I've almost gotten stuck just trying to get out of my neighborhood. So again, make sure that you have a good four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle, because you're going to need it. Now, another one of those 4 seasons I mentioned that we get is summer. And our summers are hot. We are a high desert, and so we get very hot in the summertime. Yesterday was June 7th, and when I left work to go get in my car, it was 93 degrees outside, so it's already getting hot. In July and August, usually toward the end of July, there will usually be a week or two that we will go with over 100-degree days sustained for like usually a week or two. And when it's over 100 degrees here, it's hot. It's different than the humid hot. So if you're from East Coast, somewhere where it's humid hot, it is very different. It's a dry heat, so it is much different than that. It's not as disgusting as that humid heat, but it's dang hot. And when it's over 100 degrees outside, like I said, it's hot. It's real hot. You have to plan your day. You have to plan your day according to the heat and according to the weather. Meaning if you need to mow your yard that day, well, you probably need to get it done at like 9 in the morning or so, and not at 5 o'clock in the afternoon when it's the hottest part of the day. And if you're going to be outside when it's over 100 degrees, the majority of us, we try to be on or near water. So if you follow my channel, you know that my family and I, we're really into boating. So we do a lot of boating in the summertime, and that's usually where you're gonna find us. You're gonna find us on the lake pretty much every weekend or every other weekend on the boat, trying to stay cool when it gets hot like that. But so bottom line, if you can't take, I'm not gonna say extreme winters, but if you can't handle driving in snow and icy roads, because you're going to have to commute, unless you're working from home and you're a shut-in, you're going to have to commute a little bit. So if you cannot handle icy, snowy roads and you cannot handle very hot summers, Boise might not be the place for you. However, if you love snowboarding, skiing, snowmobiling, just curling up with your partner with a hot toddy next to the fire, and you also love boating and tons of summer outdoor activities, well, it might just work out for you. My number 3 is diversity. And I've covered this on many of my videos, and if you watch any of these videos of why not to move to Boise or why people are leaving Boise, etc., 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 you're gonna find this is pretty consistent. Boise, Idaho is a very white place. In one of my videos, I even pointed out that Meridian claims to be a very diverse city. However, it's 84% white. And I was like kind of laughing about that, thinking not exactly diverse. But of course, things are changing, things are ever evolving. Obviously, people are moving in from bigger cities, and that does make things more diverse in the area. So bottom line, one thing you do need to understand is that it is very white here. Another thing that you do need to know about before moving here is that we have in the Boise market, the Treasure Valley area, in most of Idaho, we have a very large influence from the LDS or Mormon church. So you're going to see a lot of churches in the area, a lot of Mormon churches or LDS churches also, very, very common to see all over the place. And on Sunday morning, you're going to see a lot of minivans heading to church at around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you're coming here to find some big multicultural poppin' club downtown in downtown Boise, you're not going to find it. Or if you're looking for a black barbershop to get a nice tight fade, you're going to find like 2 options. I just Googled it. There's like literally 2 options. So like I said, that could be a major drawback for you. However, some positives from areas like that, like especially very high religious areas, is that generally speaking, usually those areas have very low crime. And well, that's a fact here. We do have very low crime. My number 2 is there's nothing to do here. There's no big entertainment here. There's no major amusement park anywhere. There's no major sports team of any type anywhere. There's exceptionally limited high-end shopping, and I mean exceptionally. You're gonna find a Coach store in the mall, a Lululemon pop-up store in the mall, and a Lululemon over in the Village, and we have a Nordstrom Rack, and that's it. However, you're exceptionally limited when it comes to fine dining here. So, entertainment is very limited. If you come from any big city anywhere in the country, we're still really small potatoes. So you can't move here expecting that we have these major posh areas or major nightlife, because we don't. In downtown Boise, there are a couple cool clubby nightclubs, bars that are a lot of fun. But you venture anywhere away from Boise and the nightlife is non-existent. Go out to Nampa and Caldwell, the bar club scene is pretty non-existent. Same thing with Meridian and Eagle. And this actually all leads to my number one, which is Boise is very small. We are still very small potatoes. People tell me often all the time, Shawn, I need to move there and I need to live there for 6 months to a year and I need to rent to really determine and discover where I want to be. Total misconception. I literally have my clients all the time come and stay for a weekend, and before they leave, I've showed them everything they need to see and they know exactly where they want to be before they leave. It's literally that small. And like I just touched on, the nightlife is pretty much non-existent. If you're a big party goer or a club goer, it's not probably gonna be the place for you. Like I said, there's some clubs and they're kind of cool, but it's not gonna be like big city by any means. And shopping, high-end shopping is exceptionally limited. Dining is exceptionally limited. We don't have any professional sports teams anywhere close to us. It's just a little slower paced here for sure. And those are actually some of the reasons that people are wanting to be here and some of the reasons that people are moving here and that my clients are moving here all the time is because they want to get away from the big city. They want to get away from the problems, the crime, the homeless camps, the policies of the politicians that they can't control. They're just there, they're stuck. They're tired of it. These are a lot of reasons that people are actually moving here. So we may be limited on entertainment if you're looking for that synthetic version, but I can tell you that we have the entertainment as far as everything that there is to do outdoors. Now, we talk about this all the time on my channel, but the amount of activities and outdoor activities that you can do within a walk from your home or an exceptionally short commute from your home is very phenomenal. From hiking, biking, climbing, boating, kayaking, paddleboarding, backpacking, four-wheeling, dirt biking, overlanding, whitewater rafting, fishing, hunting, picking berries, bird watching. The list goes on and on and on. And I will tell you right now, I do everything I can to do as much of it as I possibly can. Because these are all the reasons that I continue to live here and continue to raise my family here. So if you still have questions and you're still just not quite sure if this is the place for you and you're just unsure about area or location or anything like that, or you're sold, you know, Boise and the Treasure Valley, and this is the place for you, you know you want to be here, then all you've got to do is call me. Email me, text me, days, nights, weekends, myself, my team, we've got your back when it comes to moving to Boise and the Treasure Valley. We'll see you next time.